What's up, guys? It's your boy Santos Destroy, and I am back with part 2 of What If Naruto Had God of Destruction Energy. So, a quick recap of where we left off last time. Naruto and Sasuke just got embodied by Orochimaru, and currently it is Sakura watching over them, hoping they don't die. So basically, everything goes the same as canon. That is until Naruto and Sasuke wake up from their slumbers. Sasuke obviously emanating the cursed mark energy, and Naruto radiating a combination of both the Nine-Tails bloodlust but also the Hakai energy that Beerus displays in Dragon Ball Super. So Naruto would basically just fire off a beam of Hakai towards Team Dosu in a sense to intimidate them or like disintegrate a nearby there's like a crater in front of is totally disintegrated. I feel like they would be intimidated, but given Zaku's arrogance and high confidence in himself, he would approach, and that's where Sasuke would go to proceed to break off his arms, and Team Dosu would have a strategic retreat. Not strategic retreat, but just run like they did in canon. Everything would go the same except Team Oboro, they would be defeated with much less difficulty due to the nature of Naruto's Hakai powers, and he'd be able to basically dispel all the genjutsus without actually having to touch them because he could just radiate Hakai energy. And at this point, given his state of still bloodlusted anger, he would be able to disintegrate genjutsu on touch. So now basically they have more time than in canon to rest and recover, but not that much more time. So we head into the preliminaries. Sasuke wins with the same amount of difficulty that he did in canon. Again, I'm not assuming any changes happen to the matchups, as there is no reason to assume anything happens that would change the outcome of anyone fighting anyone else. So Naruto basically fodderizes Kiba because he makes it so that he shows off his Hakai power to Kiba, and he basically threatens Kiba saying, "I could do this to your dog if I really, really wanted to." Since according to the manga, like Kiba's ninja hound Akamaru was seen as a ninja tool just like any shuriken, and if a shuriken can be destroyed, why can't a dog be? So I feel like Kiba, much against his pride, he would call Naruto's bluff, but after Naruto literally glows, his hands glow purple with the Hakai energy, and he slams the ground in front of him, literally dissolving away the ground, like destroying the ground in front of him. I feel like Kiba would really understand what he's up against, and Kiba would try and fight his valiantly, trying to stay away from Naruto using hit and run tactics. However, either Kiba or Akamaru would eventually get tagged, and Kiba not wanting to risk his dog's life, he would either forfeit or feed Akamaru a food pill. And if we are going with the food pill scenario, it would play out mostly the same as in canon, except Naruto wouldn't fart on Kiba. He'd probably just use Hakai on the ground, causing Kiba to stumble, which would lead him right into the Uzumaki barrage. And that and all the other preliminaries pretty much go the same way, and that wraps up the preliminaries of the Chunin exams. Now we head into the 1 month of training. Now, the 1 month of training, for Naruto at least, goes similar yet different at the same time. I know that sounds like really dumb to say, but it's the best way I could describe it. Naruto, it goes similar because he works on using the Kyuubi and harnessing the Nine Tails' chakra. But it also goes differently because he focuses on his Hakai energy and combining the Kyuubi energy with his Hakai energy, making it more potent and able to destroy larger objects faster than he would be able to with his own chakra. So, in a sense, he uses Jiraiya's teaching him to use his Hakai energy as like bait to draw out the Kyuubi chakra, so he's able to summon more of it. Because the Kyuubi is attracted to like negative emotions, and what's more negative than destroying something? So literally energy of chakra of destruction is being used as bait to make Kurama come out. And then Naruto learns his general chakra training, water walking, like perfects that. Um, he also just gets basic gains in taijutsu, ninjutsu, and genjutsu, like he did in canon. And he learns a couple of new jutsus, which would be, call it Hakaishin, destructive spear, which basically is like a purple Rasengan, but whatever it hits, it doesn't carve away at it. It just instantly destroys it. And he'd also be able to throw it as a projectile. And he'd also learn chakra control in the sense to infuse his Hakai chakra into certain objects to either amp up their cutting power or just make them more destructive. Like if they're like a bomb or something, a smoke bomb, it'd be more destructive, not just smoky, but also like create some sort of damage to the environment around it. However, too much chakra into that item or ninja tool he puts it into could destroy the tool, thereby rendering it useless. So now we head to the finals of the Chunin exam, which is Naruto versus Neji, as there's just no reason for it to change since all the original combatants are still fighting in the finals. Now this is where stuff gets interesting because Neji's a close range fighter, but you can't really do close range against Naruto unless you literally want to be disintegrated. Or in this case, Naruto could probably just put like a hole through someone's body at this point if he really, really wanted to. But knowing Naruto, I don't think he'd really do that. So Naruto and Neji are basically squaring off. Naruto does the same thing that he does in canon against Neji, which is make all those shadow clones and use his shadow clone strategies to the point where Neji, uses 8 trigrams, 64 palms on Naruto. Now it is at this point, after the 64 palms when Naruto's on the ground, Neji would have his Taku no Jutsu, then Naruto would get back up. His body would glow purple, which means that he's using the Hakaishin chakra of his to draw out the power of the Nine Tails. And with this comes the part where we have to say that he can summon more since the Nine Tails is more attracted to negative emotions and negative basically feelings than Naruto's own willpower at this point. So more of a Nine Tails chakra would come out. Combining it with Naruto's Hakaishin chakra would produce like a cloak of purple and then on top of that a cloak of orange, which basically means anything that Naruto touches would essentially just either disintegrate under his touch or would just flat out disappear depending on what it was, like in a massive like purple sparkles what it is in the manga or the anime. So at this point Naruto is radiating such intense chakra that his very presence is causing some of like the little pebbles and leaves around him to just flat out disappear. Just just get Hakai almost, but that's just his chakra doing that. And Neji's looking at him with his Byakugan intact in complete awe of what he's witnessing, as he really didn't think such a quote unquote failure was capable of outputting so much power. And since Naruto has the Nine Tails chakra, he also gets the speed boost, which also catches Neji off guard, as Naruto would probably slice through his kunai with his own Hakai chakra infused kunai, which would just literally disintegrate Neji's kunai, forcing Neji into rotation. And it is at this point where I do believe Naruto would gain a key upper hand, as he could literally just destroy the rotation as his Hakaishin KK Genkai allows him to essentially destroy chakra-based substances as well as real-world substances. And even though Neji's rotation is moving at a high speed, it does remain in one point. So Naruto can easily just target it and destroy it. And with the amp that Kurama's chakra provides, there is no way Naruto does not destroy it. Basically, waste, basically meaning that Neji just wasted some chakra doing something that essentially didn't even help him. And now he knows that Naruto can literally destroy any chakra-based attack that comes his way. Neji's pride wouldn't allow him to forfeit, but as the fight went on, it was clear that Neji was going to lose it because Neji couldn't use chakra against him. Chakra was ineffective against this version of Naruto, and this version of Naruto was basically getting faster as Neji was getting slower and tiring. So eventually, after a long, dragged out fight, much more than in canon, because Neji Neji isn't stupid. He wouldn't be blinded because he'd actually be kind of scared knowing that his life was really on the line. If he messed up, his life could be forfeit. So Neji would fight much more carefully, and he wouldn't be as careless as he was in canon, like standing over Naruto. So he would just he would drag out the fight much longer than it should have gone on for. But at the end of the day, Naruto would probably pin him to a Hakaishin or just knock him out in some sort of way. He'd get too fast for Neji to keep up and would either punch him really hard or just back to the neck chop, and Neji would probably just fall down unconscious, and that would be the match. Now with the following fights being Shikamaru and Temari and Gaara versus Sasuke, we do have the Konoha Crush Plan beginning, and Gaara and Sasuke continuing their fight in the woods. And that's where I'm going to leave it off, guys. If you liked, share, and subscribe. I'm a Santos the Destroyer, and I am out.